So can't decide. He might be a good one to put in the deck, but I think we're going to go with Stonebrow as our commander. And then we've got a couple other cool, so we're going to put in Bori in here. So we'll add him. We're also going to add Lovisa. She is going to be in one of the new dual decks that you will be seeing coming out soon. She gives every creature that's a barbarian, warrior, or berserker +2/+2 and haste, which means it can attack that turn. You'll see, Bori is just a Cyclops, but Stonebrow's a warrior. So that's something that we're going to look at. We're going to try to include a lot of berserkers, warriors, and barbarians. Let's see if there's anything else that's really good for turning sideways. We can't use her because she actually mentions white and black on the cast in the rules text, so we can't use her. It will not allow this deck to be played if that's the case. We're totally going to have the bow in here. We're going to put in some legendary enchantments so we can get nasty real quick. We're also going to put this guy in here. He's nasty. He would have been awesome the last game because whenever a player casts a non-creature spell, so that's an instant, sorcery, enchantment, or artifact, he deals 6 damage to that player. So once we get him on the board, we're not playing anything but creatures from that point on. So we're going to probably want to have a fairly high creature count, which I knew right from the get-go because we want to have lots of stuff with trample. Oh, Loki is sad that I'm not paying enough attention to him. I think because he was wanting me to react to the underwear comment on here. I imagine that there are fairly good amount of people that play this game in their underwear. I am fully dressed. Alright, so now that we've got just a couple cards that are in here, want to start working on the meat and potatoes of the deck. So first things first is we want to have cards that are going to ramp up our deck, try to help us find our mana. And last game we really didn't see that too much, so we are going to look for cards that put lands into play. So lands into play is what we're going to type in here, and we'll see what we get. So I only get one thing. Basic land cycling, so I'm going to have to search for something else. So we'll do search and land. So that was one. There we go. Alright, so now we can find some cards that are going to search for lands and put them either into play or into our hand. Preferably into play. Frozen Tusker is going to put that one into our hand, but that will also draw us a card which is important later on. This one will also search, but I don't really want to use that one. There we go. Vegetation's good, so that's what, 1, 2, 3. You usually want to have about 10 cards that filter for land. So that was 3. We'll do a cultivate. That's 4. Tribelder, 5. Rampant growth, which does the same thing. That's 6. This one's kind of cool. We'll do him 7. This one does 3, so that's 8. She searches for a land and puts it right in, so that's 9. That's a good one. And put this one in too. That'll be 10. Alright, so that's 10 land searching cards. We're also going to put in a couple other things in just a minute. So we're going to do those next. Next thing you want to do is you want to look for something that will draw you cards. And again, you want to have usually about 10 things that will draw you cards. That way you keep flowing through your deck. If we can see anything that's going to you know, work with our trample theme or a creature, that's always going to be better. So like for example, this one right here, whenever another creature with power 3 or greater comes into the battlefield under our control, we get to draw a card. That's a great one. We also got Person Tusker. That counts as one of our 10, so we already have one because he draws us a card too. So that's 1, 2, that one for 3. Clockworm has trample, so we're going to include that one. It's 4. Draw a card for each creature I control. Sure thing. 5. We want to draw cards, not other people. He could be fun. We'll try him. I want to draw lots of cards. We have the greatest power. Draw a card. That could be good, but it's not guaranteed. I'd like to draw as many cards as possible. Ooh, foil browbeat. That's what I'm talking about. Alright, so I think that was 6. And we'll get some early stuff on here. 7. That one we can sacrifice to draw a card. This one lets us draw a card. That's 8. You know what? We'll also grab an artifact. 9. And let's see here. Lots of choices. We'll do Mind Stone. Okay. So that's good. So now that we've got those, now we got to start picking out our removal, because you want to have a decent removal. Oh, what kind of business are you going to try? Start bounce off of your Twitch account. So the Twitch account is mainly just for fun. I currently have an Instagram page, which is redzonegaming.llc, and we are going to be using that to obviously promote Magic, family gaming. I have a role-playing game that I have designed that's in the works. We're going to be having a Patreon for that later on, which is exciting. So once we get a couple more things set up, we'll be able to start putting the Patreon page out there, and then people will be able to check out our role-playing game as well, which is called Battle for Brickyard, and that's fun and exciting. So there you go, Loki. I responded to you. Okay, so now we have to pick out our single target removal, which you usually want about 5 cards for. So what we're going to do is we're going to do Destroy, since we're playing red, and we're going to see what comes up under Destroy, because we want to blow stuff up. Good example, could use this one to destroy artifacts that we don't control, or for 5 mana we can destroy all artifacts that we don't control. That is a lot of fun. Just trying to find a couple different things. Creature with flying, that could be a good one. Naturalize, destroying an artifact and enchantment, that's always good. So that's 3. This one's good because it does a artifact and enchantment and 2 damage to that person. That's 4. Trying to see if I have any creatures. Old Shambler would be a good one, because he's a creature, so we'll be able to give him trample. For example, like this one. Whenever it deals combat damage to a player, if it's monstrous, you can destroy an enchantment they control. So that could be pretty fun. He's got trample, which is good. Acidic Slime is the best spot removal because it can kill an enchantment, artifact, or land. So if they've got something real nasty, you've got lots of different options. That one. And just because we got a couple different ones. When it dies, you can destroy a non-creature permanent. The Terastodon is huge, so we're going to include that one. When it enters the battlefield, it can destroy up to 3 target non-creature permanents, and they get a 3/3 elephant token for each permanent we destroy, which is fun. Alright, so now we're going to move into the destroy all things, or nuke a lot of stuff. I also want to have 5 things that'll essentially reset the board, which is important to have. So for example, Bearer of the Heavens. He destroys all permanents at the beginning of the next step after he dies. So this is like an end game reset button. Tons of fun. So we're going to include him. We are going to then look for destroy all. We'll see if there's any other things that destroy all stuff. So we've got Breaking Point, where somebody can take 6 damage, or we destroy all creatures. That's a good one. This one does 4 damage to a player, or 2 damage to each creature. We get 2 different options, so that one's really good. And then we're going to do deal all, or deal damage to all creatures. So we're going to look for something that will nuke a lot of stuff at the same time. So like we could do Street Spasm. That's a good option. Do I have Inferno? No. Alright, let's see here. I don't want those anymore. Looking for artifacts, or looking for some kind of mass damage. I bet the X spells are at the end. Yep. Alright, so here we go. Got Blasphemous Act. That's pretty much a guaranteed one. Still might use Street Spasm. Plan Defiance. Now that's good stuff. Or we could do Savage Twister. Warpoodle, when you used to play with me, we used to use that card. That was a good. Sure, we'll put in Molten Disaster as well. Alright, so now that we've got that stuff done, now let's look for our tramplers. So we want things that either have trample or will get trample. That way we can make the most out of Stonebrow. So, and since we want this deck to be fairly fast, we want to try to get it going as quickly as possible. So we want cheaper creatures than normal. Trying to find things that actually will. Actually, let's start with Warrior.